Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys in California. Before I begin, give all praise to Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. I pray the Most High blesses this lesson this evening. Gives us more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past in order to understand events that are currently happening on the earth. So we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. Brother, we're going to be getting into a little bit of the myths about how Uxmal was built. And you're going to get a perfect example of the cover-up by the Psalms 83 conglomerate. And when you understand this cover-up, you're going to understand why none of the prophecies that they are trying to push are working. Because they got all the people wrong. They got the who is who and the where, and what, how. Everything that they've set up is wrong. So them just concentrating on, what's going on over there with Ish and, and all this stuff going on over there with Iran and how all this stuff is all working out with Russia and Ukraine and how that's all part of prophecy and, and all the stuff they've made up about getting raptured away. If you're lied from jump, how then, if you've been lied from absolutely from jump and you've been just hiding everything, you've hidden people, you've hidden the ones that actually were given the scriptures, you hid the ones that the prophecies are about, how could you possibly think that the prophecies you've come up with are actually going to come to pass? This is why none of the things that they're talking about have come to pass. That's why you got people always making these, they're making their predictions about them getting raptured and they're always here. Because everything that their whole foundation is nothing but lies. Check this out. You're gonna catch them. They're gonna get cold busted right here. The legend about how Uxmal was built. The pyramid is known as the pyramid of the magician, or the pyramid of the dwarf, because the legend is about a magical dwarf who was born out of an egg, grew into an adult in one day, and built this pyramid in a single night to prove that he should be the future leader and escape execution. There's a video that talks about how, there's legends about how this dwarf used sound to move all of these blocks. And I said, and of course the magician. Now you're getting a reason as to why the Catholic Church hasn't demonized anything about magic. Because there was magic going on to build these structures. And since it had nothing to do with them, and they're trying their best to interject themselves into our history, they have to demonize all this information. This is why you get false accusations, no proof about magic and stuff like that. They're just, they're sitting there making accusations about things that they're doing with their demons, the things they're doing with their spirits, and they're making accusations that others are doing it. See, the Most High gave all the other nations spirits to lead them astray. And that's what these spirits do. But we are the people of the Most High. He leads us. So we're not all dealing with the same spirits. Now, the crazy thing is, how did the original people depict this dwarf? How did the original people depict him? Doesn't matter what the Spanish did way after the fact. Doesn't matter what they did and what they've come up with. Okay? Because we already know that everything that they do is a lie. So pretty much anything that they come up with, you just got to go the opposite way. Because everything that they come up with is going to be a lie. So let's take a look first at how the original people depicted the dwarf. wide, broad nose, big lips. Looks more like a Negro to me right here. But they're going to try to say otherwise. But like I said, it doesn't matter because they lie about absolutely everything. We're nowhere. Remember, we have no history. All of our history has to do with slavery. That's it, according to them. They have all the great history. But as you can see, they've just put, and you're going to see in a little bit, how they just instituted people into into our lands, and they gave them our history. Like another one, how they depicted the dwarf. Let me check that out. Now the kicker is right here. Look at that. There would be that dwarf that they were talking about was the one that was responsible for building Uxmal and then using magic to, in sound and, in this myth in order to, build this pyramid that they can't even build today. Now they know all this. He said it's not about the things that they show you. It's about the things that they don't allow you to see. We know about the statues from Atlantis. We know about the statues that were there at Uxmal. We know what they look like. We know how they hid them out of, they took them out of the books, and then they went ahead and put their own people or people they wanted to in these positions. And like I said, you people who have been put in these positions, you might be mixed with some of us. Definitely, there's going to be mixing in. We're not all going to look exactly the same. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that the fact that all of you are quiet, none of you, are none of you. Thank you. None of you are admitting the truth. None of you are admitting how, yes, there were so-called Negroes here. There are pictures of them all over the place. There's pictures of them all on the walls in these pyramids. They did not all come from Africa. They were here before we were here. So that this was actually amazing to see this picture right here of this dwarf and how he is depicted. Okay? So now, let's take a look at what the Spanish did. And you're going to see why all of these prophecies they've been coming up with aren't coming to pass. Because they've lied about absolutely everything. Uxmal, Yucatan, the legend of the dwarf. So they try to lighten him up, change him up. But these people know. Like I said, you guys have a responsibility too. Most High's gonna ask you, what did you do for his people? What did you do for the Most High's people? Are you only gonna, try to get the goods and get the blessings for yourself and ignore your brothers? Ignore the brethren who actually are written all over the walls? Because you want to be, held in a high position as if, those lands are all yours. You're the only ones that were there. You're the only ones that have been there. And there hasn't been any so-called Negroes anywhere around. This is how they lighten it up. This is how they change it up. So then they can be the ones to be the guides when you go to see these places. And they're the ones that can give you their rendition of history. They can give you their, opinions of how things were back then. And you will just take the words that they say and you won't even think twice. Because these are the pictures that you've been shown. And they wouldn't lie to you. They wouldn't be, jacking our information, jacking our history, and giving it to someone else. But we know how it works in these colleges. So like that video I shared about the $60 billion. They won't rock the boat because this is how they make their money. They'll just say, oh, no one believes that. No one believes there were so-called Negroes here. I have a PhD, so whatever I say goes. You're not allowed to think outside the box. Whatever I say goes. Well, look, there's no books that say this. Yeah, because you've hidden them all. Or you made them super expensive. But the Most High is making sure that we get our hands on it. and he's given us the correct understanding. This is all part of the Psalms 83. All of you, every single one of you, doesn't matter. It's not just so-called white people. There's so-called black people, brown people, yellow people, red people. You're all together and hiding our history. And the Most High doesn't need you to bring this out. The Most High is going to bring this out on his own. But this is a way for you to receive a blessing, to receive some mercy. Because eventually the whole world's going to admit the truth. They're going to admit the truth that, yeah, these were the ones that were here. These were the original people. Yes, all of our prophecies are trash. All of our prophecies are garbage. Nothing that comes out of our mouth is true. We've lied to you about absolutely everything. You've gone through 70 captivities, through the 70 shepherds, and we've all screwed you over again and again. That's why now at the end, everything is so backwards. And you're all keeping quiet all the way till the end. That's why you get pictures like this. You'll bust out this stuff, this garbage right here, with the priests, and you just lighten them up some more. Lighten up the dwarf of Uxmal even more. You'll throw these priests out there and picture them like they've always been here, like they didn't get here just in 1492 and afterwards. But these are the things, these are your responsibilities. The Most High is bringing this out if you accept it or not. We don't get these downloads from you. We get them from the Holy Spirit. And she's the one that's given us all this understanding once again. So your choice, continue with the lie or accept the truth. Continue with the lie or accept the truth. All praise is the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.